am Margo, your CFO Queen. I am really excited to be here with you today and share with you my step one of my financial fundamentals that I implement to my clients. And I totally support for myself and anybody who's looking to start a business, own a business, or in the midst of owning a business. So there's a lot of things that got involved when it comes to owning a business, and we get taken away with sales, and we get taken away with potentially building a team, an office. But the component that a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs don't pay attention to is building an accounting system. And there's so many different ways to do it, and I'm really excited to share with you today my system of how I recommend things. So now the word accounting comes from the word accountability. Now, if you're looking to be rich and if you're looking to make a lot of money, you'll need to be accountable for your money. And if you're not accountable for your money, then your money is not going to take care of you. You take care of your money is going to take care of you. It's a relationship that works together, and if it works opposite, you're going to find yourself always in a stray solution and ultimately a very stressful situation. So with that said, we can't take any shortcuts, and there's no excuses. And when you're working together with your CPA, you're working together with your bookkeeper, or anybody who is a professional in the financial industry, you need to take it seriously. So the first thing is to take action and to be able to do it the right way. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm excited to begin with the first part to day one of the challenge, which is to go paperless. These days, there's no reason not to be paperless. If you're still in that part where you're shoeboxing your receipts and you're really just ignoring things, or you're just charging on the credit card, you're probably feeling pretty lousy and pretty overwhelmed when it comes to tax time. And this time of year, especially now in October, we're getting ready to close the year. So either you're looking to close the year, or you're looking to really catch up on sales, catch up on expenses, and all sorts of those things. Going paperless is a big thing. And now in the 21st century, there's so many different ways that you can do it. Some of my favorite ways are having an app called Receipt Bank, or having an app called HubDoc. And they're two different things. HubDoc is a way that it will fetch the statements for you from, let's say, your bank account, from your credit card, and it'll come right to your inbox. So it's really like a save, it's really a way to save time to be able to go online and fetch them. Now you can say like, yeah, it comes into the mail to me, and I don't have a problem. But here's the thing, what are you doing with it when it comes in the mail? Are you just putting it in the pile, or are you really organizing it and having files in a file cabinet so that it's easily accessible? So when you have an app called HubDoc, it fetches it for you, and it almost forces you to take on looking at your bank statements. Now, something like Receipt Bank is something that helps you with receipts. So if you're a contractor, if you're a designer, if you're a developer, a lot of service-based industries do have reimbursed expenses where they are worried about receipts. So I have a property manager client, and his property managers are all having receipts. Now, there's like a head property manager, and then they have like subs. So the subs are not necessarily, really keeping the receipts. So what do? You could have something like Receipt Bank, where you could just take a picture of the receipts, and you can categorize it directly onto your phone, and that will even sync with your accounting system. It's so fabulous. Now, it's pretty strange that, for me, when I find that people are still doing the old method of just like shoeboxing your receipts, because there's so many ways that are simple on your phone, and we all carry our phones all the time. So the first solution is to go paperless. Now, The only other thing is with Receipt Bank and HubDoc is lots of people, they groan and they moan about the monthly fee that they accrue on it. Now, you can look at it that way, or you can look at it as what will this app bring me in return? So let's say like HubDoc. The benefits of paying that monthly fee will be that you can assure yourself that you're going to look at, let's say, the bank statements, your Amex statement. Like some people just pay the credit card and they don't even look at it. And I'll tell you, somebody emailed me today on something that I charged them from Q1 of this year because they're not looking at their credit card statement. And it's obvious that they need my help just from that way. You know, I had a one-off agreement with them, and that was something that they followed up on with me. Now, Receipt Bank as well. You could have multiple subs, and then it could be multiple fees per sub. But what happens is that it's the manpower behind that that you're saving on, and the stress of all of that it really saves. Step 2 is to separate business and personal. This one I go through so much with clients and potential clients and speaking to business owners, coaches, consultants, is that so many people mix it all in one big pot. And I call it the separation of powers, because what's going on in your personal life is not what's going on in your business life. And what your business needs is not what your personal life is going to need. So having separate bank accounts is just much easier. And also it's a legal requirement to have that. And it's so easy to just go into the bank. If you bank with Chase or whatever, Valley National Bank or whatever you have, you can just have separate bank accounts. And some people get stuck because of the business name and opening up the entity. As long as you just have, to begin with, 2 separate bank accounts, you will have so much more to work from and to benefit from when you have that. It helps you identify business expenses, and especially for auditors, it's just a very good thing if you were to, God forbid, get audited in your business. Now, it also helps create discipline. So I own my own business, and I transfer myself a certain amount of money per month. So I have to keep within that budget on my personal side of what I'm making for the business, because it all goes into what I'm investing as well. I invest into coaches, sometimes into programs, sometimes into classes of different things that I want to pay for to advance my training so that I can potentially make more money. So also, if you have a bookkeeper, accountant, or CFO like myself, you know, the person in charge of that will not need to know what's going on with your personal stuff as well. The long-term benefit of a business account is you get financials, you get the growth, you get the scalability. If you need loans and all sorts of things, you're going to get benefits. And if something like that is you're stuck on, you know, message me here below or send me an email, because I would love to share my masterclass with you on that, where I went through it at length, which is, you know, very, very important. The third thing is planning for major expenses. So it's setting aside a reserved fund for to cover unforeseen expenses. So lots of times things come out of the woodworks that we need to pay. Now, for my personal side, just yesterday something came that I was not prepared for, and now I have to make it work. So I do have on my personal budget like a miscellaneous, or like a yeah, I call it like a miscellaneous expenses to make room for that. So when it comes up, I'm not feeling flustered and stressed and all those sorts of things. Now, whether it's office equipment or your just looking at unexpected expenses, these are all the sorts of things that when it comes to this area. So some people like to put aside a small sum each month to slowly build the cushion, while others prefer simply to, to have enough cash up front for worst case scenario. And every situation is individual in itself, and both ways are okay. Just as long as you're working on that fund, it's super important. Now, You also can, when you think about this, you can look at your office or you can look at your business and look at things as a whole of things that are coming up. How, what situation is your office equipment in? Does anything need replacing in the coming 12 months? What's the advantage to, if you take advantage of supplier discounts, growth, so employees to hire, the cost per employee, if you have office space, if you need to grow on the office space. Sometimes these are the types of things, if you project what you're going to need, this is the area where all these things come out. And if you need help with those types of things and you need ideas, I would love for you to write the questions below so that I can help you. But these are the types of things, especially this time of year, that it's important to think about so that you can continue to accomplish your dreams and scale your business. Now, when you ask yourself these questions up front, it's way easier to understand how much money you should have squirreled away for a rainy day, so that you can feel safe and peaceful about your business. And when you go like on holiday or you're just sick, you just feel like things are taken care of. And those are the things that are extra support for yourself as a business owner to create. Now, when we think of support, we think of like, you know, like a coach or like a psychologist. But as a business owner, planning for major expenses is a way of support so that you know that you're taken care of. And this is something that evolves over time. It's not something that happens in one day. And it could be $100 a month. It could be $25 a month. Whatever it is, just so that you're feeding it the nutrients to build. So for today, what we learned was the 3 elements to step 1 of my fundamentals of having a successful financial, the financial fundamentals of accounting, which is to go paperless, separate business and personal, which is my other name, i.e., you know, separation of powers, and planning for major expenses. I'm sure some of you already, you know, are doing some, perhaps all, perhaps none. And if you give yourself some time to think about this and look at yourself in the mirror, you'll see the benefit of all of this. And if you feel a little guilty knowing that you aren't covering this, any of these, that's what this challenge is about. And I'm going to give you a couple of days to make a real positive steps towards implementing this so that you get the benefit of all the fundamentals. Now, this is your chance to put things in right. So take your time when you're listening to this. If you're on the replay or if you're on live, I would love for you to check in and say hello and let me know. I would also be honored if you share this with anybody who needs it so that we can help them as well. And you know, in the meantime, I'd love to hear how you're getting on. Drop me an email anytime, and I'll put that at the bottom of this. And this is your chance, really, just to end the year strong at a new high. I'll be in touch, and I put the schedule for the next challenge, which I think I did tomorrow. And I would love for you to reach out with any questions. I hope you enjoyed it today. And friends, I would love for you to share it to anybody else. And really, the 3 keys for today is to go paperless, separation of powers, and plan for major expenses. I hope you enjoyed the first day, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. And if you guys have anything, you know, I'll stay on for a few minutes if you guys have any questions. And I encourage everybody, you know, just to really, you know, plan for that time, because you know, I'm in business 15 years, and I'll tell you, I used to look at people who did this and plan for times like this, and I used to be like, wow, like I used to think like they were like my new leaders and like macho people out there. And without doing that, my business was never able to grow and to really reflect and to really serve better. I'm just going to put it that way as well, as to serve better. So I hope you enjoyed today. Feel free to send me any questions. I look forward to hearing from you, and I will see you at the next day, and let me know how it goes. Bye.